All right. So today is all about creating a brand photo shoot. Today is going to be magical. This document has some tabs on it. And so we'll just start here with the first tab, which is the welcome tab. I'll add the link to the replay here. And then I'll talk more about this in a little while, this Amplified Use Studio. And then I also put the link to our school group. If you are interested in learning more about that, I'll share a little bit about that as we go along. So I wanted to share with you just a little bit about when I think about amplifying our business and what that looks like. I have been in education for 25 years, and it was a very natural fit for me to come over to educating others about AI because it's a passion and something that I really love. And so I've been studying a lot with Molly Mahoney and Jonathan Mast. And so this is kind of how I envision going from content to clients. And so there's so many parts to it. There's, anchoring your vision, having your offers aligned, messaging with meaning. And then one of the things that, I really love is being a part of a community. And so several people who are on here are already a part of that community, but we're on school. And it's just a great place for anyone who is diving into entrepreneurship or is already been doing it for a while. It's just a great place to kind of share, bounce ideas off. And we do all of these systems. But the part that we're going to focus on today is that messaging with meaning and the idea that when you have brand photos and things that really you stand for, it will help to amplify your voice. So that's just kind of an overview of the big system. But today we're going to be focusing on that one little small part, which is messaging with meaning. Now, I'm going to share with you multiple ways and multiple tools to do the same thing. And if you have questions, feel free to just jump in and ask. I'm going to start with the prompt library, that second tab there. And what we're going to do is create today multiple images for yourself using either the tool Nano Banana, which is with Google Gemini, or ChatGPT. So the tool itself is not as important as understanding the prompting and the importance of that part. This is the very first part that we're going to add into the prompt, which is preserve the subject's facial features, proportions, and identity exactly as shown without beautifying or altering their face. And when we do this, it's going to be really important to have um, the reference image that you're going to use. So typically, I would suggest that everyone has some kind of headshot that they love. It can totally be a selfie that's taken with your cell phone. The important thing is having lighting and having it very clear and close up to your face. Now, I will tell you that the one I used, which you're going to notice through all of my pictures, I have big earrings and they're like a leopard print. When I redo this, I'm going to change that because all of my images have that, and I can certainly go back and change it. But I'm just giving you a heads up that, you know, be aware of those particular parts when you're using your reference image. To participate today, if you literally just want to, if you don't have a selfie available, just take one with your cell phone so that you can be able to do this and follow. That's the first part of the prompt that we're going to get. Then the other parts, you don't have to come up with these ideas. I'm actually going to give you 100 of them today so that you can literally copy and paste and walk away within by 2 o'clock. You could have a whole photo shoot. Now, I don't know about you, but this is like amazing because I hate getting my picture taken. I hate going to photo shoots. I hate everything about it. I hate, if I'm being honest, I hate picking out clothes. And some of these pictures that it's come up with, I'm like, dang, I need to upgrade my wardrobe because I need some high heels and some blazers and all of those things. So it might even provide you with some shopping ideas when we're done. What we're going to do is just dive in. So I'm going to have two tabs open. One is just going to be using ChatGPT, and then the other is going to be using Google Gemini. So if you want to have those tabs open, feel free. The Google Gemini is right here. I have to make sure I'm in my right account. Now, you will run into a limit eventually if you don't have a paid account on some of these tools. So like I have, ChatGPT Pro, which is $20, and then Google Gemini, I do have kind of an insane package there, but you don't have to have that big in order to be able to create some photos today. So what I'm going to do is going to grab this text here and I'm going to copy that. And I'll start in Gemini and I'm going to paste that part of the prompt. And then I'm going to go back over here. And like I said, there are 100 different prompts that are ready for you. So if you want to just pick one that you're like, okay, that'll work for today. I like this one, the expert of the year. But I'm going to do this golden hour authority one. So I'm just going to copy that and then go back to Gemini and add that prompt here. And then the last step is I have to give it the reference image. So that headshot. So wherever you have your original file, grab that. I love when I'm doing trainings like this because people get to see my messy desk and desktop, although it's not too terrible. So here I have a folder where I store just all headshots. So this is the one I've been using. Like I said, it has those earrings. So when you upload that file, now it has that plus the prompt, and then I just click create image. And then I can push the submit button. And what it's going to do is use that style of prompt and come up with the image for me. While that's running, I'm going to actually do the same thing. I'm just going to copy this whole prompt here. And I'm going to run it in ChatGPT. Same idea, add the file with my original image. And you can click that create image there, and then it'll know to create an image. So we'll see if Gemini is finished. Okay. Lovely. That's perfect. So if I want to make any changes to that, I can certainly tell it. So let's say I want to recreate this image in a black blazer. And I want you to do this along with me, okay? And the reason is I want you to walk out of today with actual stuff that you can go and post or put on LinkedIn or wherever you're wanting to do it. It's going to recreate that image. I'll check on ChatGPT. Okay, I love it. See there, those darn earrings. I'm going to go ahead and download several of these as we're playing. You should do the same. And there we go. There's that image. Love it. I'll just do maybe 2 or 3 more and see if there's something that looks fun. Okay, I'll do a recording day. That looks fun. So copy. Now, if I come back to the same chat and I enter it here, it may come up wonky. So I'll just tell you that a lot of times I'll just start a new chat so that it starts fresh with that creation of the image. I've noticed in Gemini, sometimes it just gets too many commands and it's a little bit confused. So again, I have to grab that initial prompt, which is to preserve the subject's facial features. So it's 2 parts, that little part, and then whatever the prompt is that you want. Then I'll add my reference image. There we go. And I'm good. And I'm going to copy the whole thing again for ChatGPT, just so that I have a couple of images to work with. Okay, so feel free to unmute yourself and tell us which prompt you're using. And if you like it, you can also share in the chat any images that you're seeing that you're loving.
Hey, Angie.
Yes.
Hi there.
Hi.
I missed it. Did you select create image first, or are you just going in with
Yes. I on which one? Chat or Gemini?
to chat?
Yeah, you can a lot of times, like, didn't even put it here and it knows to create an image.
Okay.
Yes, Lauren, I love it. The thing is that this system has come so far so fast that now it really gathers your images. Oh my gosh, that's fun. Okay, now again, it's also creating it in the same clothing sometimes. So I can just say, add me, add, or what should I tell it? Recreate this image with a red a top, whatever. We'll see what it comes up with. And let's see what Gemini did over here. Ah, that's fun. That's totally different. So when you get a couple of images that you like, save them because we're going to use them. Yeah, I love it. That's the band-aid on my neck. Okay, let me check on chat, see what's coming up for that one. Oh my gosh, Jen, that's awesome. These are so good. And you can pick the color of clothing that you like, So if you're like, okay, I don't love that red, but that's okay. I can mess with it. Lauren, do you have a question?
Yes. So when you're going in to make a second additional image, do you have to re-prompt it with the save my face, don't make any changes?
I didn't like this one when I said recreate this image with a red top, saved it and it had it. I
I
liked
didn't
that.
either. That
Yeah,
was the second one that I did, and it kept everything normal.
Okay, because
perfect.
I
usually
just changed the prompt part.
okay, because usually I can get chat to make one that looks like me, but when I ask it to do another one, it's a totally different person.
Yes. Experiment and try it. Laura, I'm wondering if your original image that you used might not be clear enough. So make sure you get an image that has really, clear lighting, even if you need to step away and just get in front of the natural light. That might help.
Yeah, because it wasn't totally flat lighting, so
Yes. So that'll be really important that your initial image, even if you can use one, like the one I am using was actually one that I did have a professional person take so that I just had that.
yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So now let's say I'm going to do a little bit of while you're creating, let's say we're going to do a reverse photo. So the other day I came across an image and I was like, ooh, I really like the way this image looks. I didn't have a prompt, but I was like, how could I, recreate that? And so what I did, and I think her name is Alicia Little, I'm not sure exactly if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but she had this really cute graphic that was like 30 minutes until class. Okay. So instead of going into Canva and trying to make it myself, I just uploaded it and I said, can you create a prompt that I could give to recreate this image? And of course, it always says, oh, that's such a strong promo graphic. It's so nice to me. But it says image recreation prompt, create a high impact webinar countdown. It gives me the entire prompt that's describing that particular photograph. Okay. So then what I did is I simply copied that and I said, can you update it with these colors? And it didn't really, it did. So I updated the prompt. Okay. And then I uploaded this picture of myself and I said, okay, can you use the prompt above and create this for me? And holy cow, there it is. So that's reverse engineering the prompt so that you don't really have to come up with the ideas. But if you find an image that you love of how someone is posed or standing, you can say, analyze this image and create a prompt that I can then put into, you know, my tool. So let me pause about those two ideas and see if there's any questions or thoughts.
I had a question, Angelina. I'm just wondering, do you know if you can take, say, I have an outfit on Pinterest that I've always wondered, I wonder what I would look like in that outfit. Do you know, can you take a pin and drop that in as a reference?
Yes, 100%. So you could just say, take that pin. I would do the same thing that I did here. Take that pin and, describe in detail the outfit. And then once it gives you that prompt, take your photograph and pair it with that, if that makes sense.
Very cool.
Okay. Now, you're also probably going to notice that a lot of the prompts that I have in the prompts library today are pretty formal and professional. So if you're wanting more of a natural scene, then certainly adjust it to describe it. The clothing may come out like I don't actually dress like that in real life. Let's be honest. I'm typically wearing like a sweatshirt and yoga pants every day. But if you want it to just say a sweater or a blouse or something that's more casual or put it in blue jeans, you can tell it same thing. Just adjust your prompt when you're putting it in there. Yes, for sure. Any other questions? Okay, I know someone just joined us in the chat. We will put the link to what we're doing today. Those prompts are there. If you need them, feel free to copy and use any of them. Kathleen, did you have a question?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if this is suitable for photos from a photo shoot, not my face.
Yes, you can do any of those for sure.
Okay.
In fact, sometimes you might notice you do some of these prompts are like a full body prompt, and it may have your proportions either too thin or too full. And you can just tell it, okay, again, recreate this image. You could even give it your weight. My weight is such and such, and it will kind of proportionate it that way.
Right. But for example, my photographer took photos of some of the props that I brought with me, a little shiny squirrel, a little mannequin on a treadmill or a hamster wheel. So those kinds of things, I would just adjust the prompt to.
Did you want to include those or no?
Yeah, I mean, because I was thinking like thematically for some articles that I'm writing, it's a great
Yes.
reference.
Yes. So if you maybe prompt it by saying include all portions of it, try that and see if that's helpful. Let me know as you play around if it's not including those with it.
Okay.
And then there's other tools that we can also use. So just know if you get like a photo that's 90% there and you want to add some things in, I'll show you how we can do that too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I'm going to go on now to the next step, which is hopefully everyone has a couple of images that you can play with. Again, come back to this if you need it. But now we want to create some content pieces. Okay. So what I did here on this tab, it's the third tab over, is how to use your headshot as a content asset. And so a lot of times we don't want to just have a bunch of headshots. Like we need to use them in our content that we're creating. And so I am going to show you some different ways that you can now use these headshots as content that you can just create a ton of stuff. So I have 10 ideas here and I put them, exactly. Use Canva, do it just like this. And so you can come back and look at all those, but I'm just going to walk you through 5 that I really liked and show you what we might do. Okay. So I'm going to open up Canva and when I start off today, I'm actually going to show you the way that you can create something and then have multiple sizes of something, like an asset that you're creating. So sorry, you guys, I am terrible with all these tabs on Zoom. I try to be so good, but it's hard. Okay, so I'm going to start off. And if you have a Canva account and you want to play along with me, feel free. The size that I'm going to choose is just 1080 by 1080. And so I'll start design. And what I want you to do is upload one of the headshots that you really liked. And so you can come over here and say upload and then upload file. And then typically you could just grab them. I'm going to use one that I actually like. And then what we want to do is add that to the page. So for this one, we're going to drag it and have it take up the whole page like that. And then we're going to add some text on top of it and just some simple text. Okay. So the first one that I'm going to do is super simple. It's going to say, stop doing this. Ah. Now you might see that's kind of hard to see. And I also maybe want to grab a different font. So it's still kind of hard to see. So what I'm going to do is actually add a gradient. So if you go under elements and add gradient, transparent gradient overlay, and I'm going to flip this around so that maybe here. So you can see the gradient is like darker on the bottom for this one. And it's kind of jading my face a little there. So I might do it like that. Okay. So now what I can do is replicate this and, just like a couple times, and I'm just clicking that duplicate page icon there. And then I can change it to have some different text. And you might be like, why are you using the same image? And the reason is because I could spread these out so that like I might post, you know, one of these tomorrow and then wait 2 weeks and post something, a couple weeks from now. So it's not constant. I'm not loving that gradient the way that turned out, but you get the idea. Okay, and here would be another one. If this sounds like you, we need to talk. And maybe I could even change the picture if I wanted. Just get rid of that. I might get rid of that gradient. Make that smaller. You could even, add a little white. Still hard to see, so maybe I'm going to give it a speech bubble. You could also take these pictures and do any of these edits on, right in Instagram or right in Facebook and just add the text that you don't have to add it here. That's a little bit better. My goodness, my mouse. Do you see how that gradient just helps that to pop a little bit? So my goal is really just to confuse people just a little bit, because if this sounds like you, we need to talk. What are you going to be talking to me about? I like that one. So those are just a couple of different ideas. Another one might be you don't have a visibility problem, dot, dot, dot. Just putting some different ways to prompt people and think about. Okay, so that's the first way. And then you can download any of those images, right? Another one is if you are doing YouTube templates, or I'm sorry, if you have a YouTube channel. So this is something that I like to do and talk about reverse engineering. So if you go to templates and you go to YouTube, and some of the faces these people make are absolutely ridiculous. However, maybe I like this one. So what I'm going to do is actually screenshot this girl. Okay. And then I'm going to go over to Gemini and I'm going to say, create an image prompt for this girl. Now, I could certainly use my brain and just say, I want to be pointing to the right or whatever, but this will give me, oh, it's going to, this is actually loading. Let's try it in chat. Be a prompt describing this girl in the image. Okay, now I have to be careful because it's describing how her hair is. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to copy this part of it. And I'm going to say, create an image of this person and have her wearing a bright blue sweater. Maybe I'll add the word fuzzy, just fun. Fuzzy sweater. Okay. And then I'll say, grab my reference image. And then I'm going to paste that prompt. And I might add the part about straight on studio portrait. There we go. Okay, let's see what this comes up with. And then what I can do is it's giving me a whole prompt. I love it. I forgot to say create an image. Okay. Let's copy this. Do a new chat. Oh my gosh, I had to grab that photo again. You guys are going to be sick of looking at my face by the end of this here training. Okay. And then I'll click create image. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. All right, let's try that. And then when I'm on here on YouTube, now I'll just click customize this template. And what I save time is grab a bunch of templates that I like and put them all into one file so that I can go in quickly and be able to change it. Okay. All I'm going to do here real super fast is change the backgrounds. And you'll notice I have my brand color saved. I'll say top 5 headshot, AI headshot. Headshot tips for beginners. Then I can actually use this later. So we'll say 72. I don't know. Okay, then I'm going to get rid of that girl. Okay, it's super cheesy, but it'll work. It knew to keep the background white if I want to image it Canva. Oh my gosh, no. Oh, here, save. There's a little button there that has the save icon. I was missing that. And then I can say upload. Grab that file. Oh my gosh, and then downloads.
Hey, Angie,
Yes.
did you know that you could drag and drop an image in there?
So like just grab it from the downloads there.
No, I mean, you could just drag and drop it from your computer and it will automatically upload it. Just put it where you want it and it'll upload it automatically.
Perfect. Okay, I'll try that on the next one. Thank you. So you'll notice that white is causing a problem. So what I'm going to do is click edit and then actually I'll click background remover and it'll take that white away. And now there we go. Okay, super cheesy, but whatever. You get the idea. And of course, I would have to change that because that's not really matching. There you go. And then if I wanted, I could just add a page and choose another template and then pull that in, same image, right? So we could do add a page and then come over to templates. Let's say I like that one. Girls pointing, so we'll grab and do Rhonda's suggestion and just drag it. There we go. And again, we just remove the background, change the colors, and we're golden. Okay, any questions so far? Thoughts? I 100% have not been watching the chat. So if you need me, just feel free to shout out. Okay, let's go to the next one. So this one is using your headshot to create an Instagram or, like a swipe, making a carousel. And so for that one, I'm actually just going to see if there is a template that is already made so I don't have to start over.
Angie, this is great. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just had a quick question. So, for the YouTube thumbnails, like that's
Yeah.
amazing. So, we would be able to do the same thing for Facebook cover photos or
Yes.
Instagram. Okay. Awesome.
So I'm going to search here for a care. Okay, so I'm just going to see if there is a carousel that I think looks something good. Here we go. Let's do this one. Oh my gosh, it's way too complicated. Here's me. I'm like, I don't have time for that. I should have picked this ahead of time so that I didn't waste your time. We'll go with that one. Okay. Customize this tab. What I can do is actually apply my whole brand by clicking shuffle. No. And then apply to all pages and it will change all of them. Okay. I don't actually love this, but this is why I Canva that much because I get obsessed. And so I think that's one thing. Like, if you're going to do this, you're going for speed. Like, just get it out there. No one's actually going to study it that much, but that's okay. So let's say I'm going to, Sherry, I love you. You are the nicest person in the world. You'll notice what happened when it used this, it only took a portion of that. So you can actually, stretch that a little bit. One. And then, I mean, I actually would never use this because my office doesn't look like that, but that's okay. And then, you can shorten it if you wanted, or if you're like, I don't really love that image, let's maybe try a different one. I like that one. I'm actually going to go like this. So the one I'm going to build is 3 ways to grow your business. Okay. We'll put that there. Rhonda, just shout out, you're an expert. If I'm doing something and you tell me a new way to do it that's faster or better, just tell me.
I didn't want to be obnoxious.
You're not. That is what I love about our community. We are all learners here.
So in that image before where you were trying to get it to fit,
Yeah.
just double click on the image and you can move it left and right and position like you were trying to get yourself in the shot.
Yeah.
So you can just move it left and right and put yourself where you want to be.
Perfect.
That's what I was trying to say.
I love it. No, that's great. Okay, so 3 ways to grow your business. And then now I could come in here and then just add, whatever content that I want. But this just positions me as a little bit more of, an expert when it has my picture on there. And I was doing a lot where I used the cartoon images, and I do love that. But I also think a nice mixture is helpful, right? Because then people are going to see me and they're going to recognize that I'm actually doing these things and I know what I'm talking about, right? So then I could add those and then download. Maybe I'll put that there. So what you're saying is like, this is a bad example because it's got a thing cutting it off, but that would be the idea, right? Wonder if I flip that. Or maybe I just delete it all together and I just add my image like that.
Sorry, I'm sitting here talking and I was muted.
Yeah. Come on, Rhonda.
I'm like, no, over there.
Okay. I'm going to keep with my consistency and I'm just going to go like this. There we go.
It looks great.
Now, I could also not obsess about the image because quite honestly, that first image on there is enough. And this could just be a solid background. So maybe I detach the image and I'll just get rid of that. You get the idea. So using your images in that way to create swipeable content is fun. Another one you could do is to just add it as a quote card, right? So I could take this one thing here. I'm tearing apart this poor thing. Okay, that is really weird. Is someone writing on the screen or did I do that? I've never seen that before. Okay, copy. Share your writing on my screen somehow.
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. You know what? There's a little thing at the bottom that is like a pencil,
Yeah.
and I touched it and it took me to some other screen and I couldn't figure out how to get off the screen. And so I was trying to swipe and that's why it was writing. I don't even know why it was letting it says Angelina's screen, and there's like a little pen, like pencil at the bottom left.
We are like, I'm going to stop sharing for a second and see if that will. Oh, that is hysterical.
Okay, the pencil's gone now.
Okay, no more writing on the screen. But honestly, I don't know how I did it or how to get rid of it. So
Maybe
it's all,
Angie needs a mustache.
yeah. Uh-huh. All right, here we go.
It's back. It's back, Angie.
Oh, for crying out loud. I'm not going to worry.
I won't touch it though.
You are fine. Okay.
I think you just have to hit escape.
There you go. Okay, how does this quote feel for everyone? I mean, I'm not famous yet, so I probably don't need to necessarily put my name. However, if I wanted to do that, I could align the words. If you do a podcast, for example, you could, do something like this with a quote. And again, there's lots of them already done, but this would just be, you know, your kick in the pants coach, whatever I wanted to sign it as. All right. So that's another way is to create a quote graphic. And then the last fun one that I want to share with you is creating a video out of a still image like this. So I'm going to go to Gemini again, and I'm going to my headshot, any of the headshots that we've been creating. I really liked that one that I had on there. I don't know where it went. We'll do this one. And it is as simple as saying, can you animate this? Now, there's a million other things we could do. There's lots of different tools. Google Flow or Veo has amazing tools that you could create a video. I'll show while this is coming together. And I don't want to get in too much to Google Flow right now because that's not necessarily what our training is about. But you could make little videos, like if you were just highlighting a product or, wanted to create a video. Now, the only thing about this particular one, it's not my voice. So I was like, I'm not going to post this because it's way too cheesy. Uh, it won't do the sound with it. Hold on here. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. Because it is embarrassing when I am on Zoom because I cannot keep track of all the tabs. There's a way to share my sound, but I'm not remembering. Oh, wait, here. Yeah, maybe. Okay, we're not going to worry yet, but it's like talking. And then let's go to flow and see. Here's my video. I mean, what? I am drinking coffee. It is literally taken my still image and made it into a video. So all I would have to do now is download that. I can upload it to Facebook or Instagram or wherever I'm sharing. And I'm like, hey, do you wish your morning started like this? Guess what? Me too, because that's not reality. But you get the idea, right? That's going to be shocking. And people are going to be like, wait, your morning doesn't look like that? Tell us more. So that
Hey,
is,
Angie,
yes.
did that prompt come from this list?
No,
Or was that-
no. Here's
Oh,
the
okay.
prep. Ready? Write this down because it's really hard to remember. Can you animate this?
No, I meant hold. You're so silly. I meant holding the coffee cup.
No, girl, look, this was the picture that I had it generated, right? And all I said was, can you animate that? And it did
No,
all of,
yeah, no, I understand that. I'm talking about the source of how you created the image.
oh, the coffee cup image.
Yeah, the
I'm gonna show
prompt.
you
Is
just
that prompt in
I
the picture
don't believe
that
so.
you made
That's
us?
in somewhere else. That's in a special surprise that I'm about to share with you.
Oh,
Yes. Okay, so now I'm gonna do one more picture. I'm curious what it will do if we do one that's like a walking one, maybe, or like a full body. Let's just try this. I'll say, can you animate this? So, what are some use cases that people are thinking about with this video idea?
I have a question.
Yes, let's hear it.
That's kind of a question, comment slash. I love the AI images. I love the video stuff. However, because I travel, like I'm really kind of torn about how I share myself because I don't ever want to give the impression that I'm somewhere that I've never been. You know what I mean? So how would you tackle that?
So I think the best way would be to not you already have amazing images. So
I
you
have a
don't
million.
yeah. So you don't need it for that necessarily, but there may be other things that you might want to use it for. So if you're doing your YouTube channel, putting it there. If you have a photo that, you wanted to put at the top of your newsletter, you could put it there for
Mm.
your school community, like other places that you may not have the perfect headshot for. That's where I would use these.
Yeah, I think that from a marketing standpoint, if it's not something that I'm talking about as if I was there, then it's probably okay. Like I have
Yeah.
this really beautiful image that I created in Flux Laura way back when that was the only way to do this.
Yeah.
And it's like this beautiful outdoor cafe setting in Italy. And yes, I was in Italy, but I wasn't at that table in that cafe having that latte, you know what I mean? But I could use that in my marketing about whatever location independent lifestyle or whatever, as long as I'm not saying, look, here I am in Italy.
Right. And here's the other thing is you honestly are the only one and anyone you were with are going to know that maybe that wasn't real or authentic, but others
Yeah.
wouldn't necessarily know that. And
I
like
know, but it's a slippery slope for me. Like mine,
100%.
yeah, my
Yes,
integrity and authenticity is just more
really
important to me than anything else. I never want to,
100%.
yeah.
And I don't want to create images that are so beautiful and fake that they don't look like me. So that's important to me as well. So I don't want to
Right.
have a full face with bright red lipstick on or whatever, because that's not how I would authentically look. And
It's fun because the majority of my traveling images, like I wear these buff headbands because I hike all the time and I've got like I've got on the beaten off the beaten path kind of images. They're not polished like this. So I really have to work hard at taking a selfie of me looking something other than backwoods backpacker who's
100%. Yes, that makes total sense.
who's not sweaty.
Yes, for sure. Any other thoughts or questions that people are having? All right. I want to give you the opportunity on my Facebook page. If you would, I'm going to pop in the chat here, hop over there, and I want you to share your picture. I love it. And see, now here's someone commenting on this saying, oh my gosh, you look amazing. Married Life agrees with you. Yes. And I'm going to reply back, yes, it does. However, these are AI generated images, but that just goes to tell you that, I mean, they look very like me. Chris, did you have a question or a thought?
I have a thought for people who have a cat or a dog. I have made the Flexlora for myself, but also for my cat. And that's fantastic. It works.
I love it. And also, I think someone is launching yeah, Sherry. And very soon that is going to be super exciting about doing photographs with animals. So super cool.
Wow,
Yeah, really
good.
cool.
I've actually used my Force too.
I love it. So cool. So that is fun. So feel free to share any of those images that you made today on that post.
Right.
That will be so fun just to get some engagement over there and share what you were able to create. Now, some of these pictures that I've been sharing are really created in a different way. And I want to tell you about that as well. So I'm going to share my screen for one more minute and let you know that some of you have been, let's see, did it do a video? Here, we'll watch this quick video first. Oh, look at that. Oh, how nice. My hair's blowing in the wind. Oh my gosh. Okay, that is entirely too cheesy. I would never use that, but fun to make and experiment with, right? Because that's what it's all about. Sometimes we have to play until we get to the fun. Speaking of play, I'm going to show you something that is so close to being released, and you all are the first that are going to get to see it. I am going to be sharing something that is going to be called because I love to go with the AI Amplified Studio. So it's going to be called the Amplified U Studio. And what it is going to do is create for you 200 different images with the tap of a button. Okay. And there are all these different categories. So you'll see that there's thought leadership and speaking, there's behind the expertise. I'll show you some more of them. This is the wrong one because I have a couple different open that I was going to share. Okay, give me 1 second and I'm going to switch screens. Oh, you can look at that cute picture for a second. Okay. So what it's going to allow you to do is come in, you'll upload your headshot. Put that on your desktop, headshots. You'll add your name. You'll add your niche. So I would say AI coach, your primary platform, which is for me, Facebook, your primary role, which is coach. You can add details like brand description, brand colors, brand values. You can even pick the clothing color season and it will pick clothes along those lines. And then there's like image styles that you can select. So if you like golden hour, and then if you want to upload your brand document, which we have done a lot of, and then you click generate 200 authority images. And now what it's done is it's created a little profile for me. And then when I come in, these are all these different kinds of images. So like thought leadership and speaking was the one that I had along with content authority portraits, but there's a bunch of different ones. So let's say I'm going to do social posts and then I say generate this category and it is literally going to generate these images for you so that you can download them. Now, this is a tool, I'm going to be completely honest with you, the lovely Molly Mahoney has created, and I was able to get the rights to replicate it. So it's going to be branded with my brand. Okay, that picture of the sunset is hysterical because I would never wear a dress like that. But you see, it's automatically doing these. I don't have to copy and paste the prompt. It's programmed on the back end with all of those prompts so that it's going to just generate them for you. So you could spend a day, come in here, generate your images, and then it'll save them in a gallery so that they're all there. Now, if you don't love these, you could certainly tell it to, just like before, create a different sweater or, change the outfit, whatever it is. And I wanted to I have a tab open where the pictures are they were already created and it's absolutely stunning what it does. Some of these are supposed to be for, YouTube, and that one does not look super great. But to get these expressions, I would never tell it to make my face look like that. So again, having those prompts built in. So this is like a photo shoot done for you. All are going to be in the gallery. And then you can actually create multiple profiles in here. So, oh, here it is. I thought I didn't have it. This is one that I did. And you can see, so there's B-roll thumbnails. So there's that coffee drinking one again. So you can come in, download the image, and then have it be B-roll for your videos. Right now, this is on, I'm going to call it pre-sale. Okay. And if you want to learn more, I have the link hyperlinked in this last tab, and it'll take you to the end. And I'll just show you that real fast. So these are some of the images that it created, but these are all the categories that it has, and they are really stunning. And so if that is something that you're interested in, you can click here, and this is going to be on pre-sale for just the people who took this course and anyone through the weekend, anyone if you know of anyone who does, they need content for LinkedIn or this can be for anyone, a coach, a creative. It's going to be on sale through the end of Monday for $99, and you'll get access to make as many images as you want. And then the special is actually for the people who, like I said, attend the workshop. But if you are inside the school community, you're going to get a 50% off coupon. And if you're wondering, like, what is school and what is she talking about? I'm just going to quickly show you. So we have this amazing group called the AI Amplified Entrepreneur Group. And you guys, the value that you get for being in this group is absolutely insane. And the people who are in here can feel free to pop it in the chat, their thoughts. And I did not prompt them to tell them to do this, but In the classroom, we have so many resources that are already there. And we just started this community. So we are still small and mighty. But every week, there's a 9 o'clock meeting where we meet for an hour and we share our struggles. We talk about what's going well. We share ideas for implementing AI. And the goal is really to have action because we can learn about these tools all day, but if we're not implementing them, we're not going to make money. And that is why we all started to be entrepreneurs. And that is a 9 o'clock mastermind. And then literally every Thursday, almost every Thursday, I'm teaching a class like this one. And, some of them are a little bit longer, but we have that. And then there's also all these tools that are built into the classroom. So start here. It walks you through getting your business set up, meet your coach. How do we get to know each other? Here are the dates. Let's collaborate. And then the resources for your business. Those things that I talked about at the beginning, if you are not clear on your offers or your vision for you're just starting out for your company, you want to, join there. Message for meaning, that's where we have this amazing tool called the Content Amplifier, and it has all the ways to create content. A little secret is this community has a free 7-day trial. So if you join, you get that coupon for 50% off. It's going to be amazing for you. So that's there. If you have questions or any thoughts, so the monthly for the app is going to be a one-time buy. Yes. Okay, I love it. All right. So if anybody has any questions, I'll wrap it up and see if we're good. So reach out. I would love to connect with you if you haven't. I also do just have half-hour consultant calls if you want to just check in and see what's going on. All right, friends. Thanks so much. I hope you have a great day making images. Bye.